No matter how many movies, television shows, or video games there are about zombies, we just can't seem to get enough. In fact, if you've ever thought about what you would do in the zombie apocalypse, you may want to consider the state of your own home. If it's not very secure and you have a bunch of cash sitting around, why not upgrade to one of these anti-zombie domiciles? Sure, only the richest people can afford to buy and upkeep these properties, but we think it's worth it, considering what the alternative may be. Be sure to pay attention to the details of each entry and take part in our zombie-related quiz that we have waiting for you. The answer with the most votes will get pinned, and show off your zombie-related knowledge. Now, before the undead swarms your home, hit that subscribe button while you still can, and take a look at some rather impressive homes that will protect you and your brains should the worst happen. Wolf Trap Lighthouse. Can zombies swim? We're not really sure, but it's unlikely they know how to use life jackets or water wings. In that case, this property for the rich survivalist may just be perfect. Located in the Chesapeake Bay, Wolf Trap Lighthouse is a 3-bedroom zombie-proof fortress. Even if they could float out to you, once the ladder gets pulled up, nothing can get you. Last on the market for around $250,000, this place needs some TLC and a lot more money pumped into it to make it a full-fledged fortress. Safe House. Located atop a ridge overlooking LA is this luxurious $5.5 million zombie-proof home. Called the Safe House, this home is designed to be hard to break into. At 5 stories tall and with excellent all-around views, you will definitely see the army of the undead approaching. Even if your ghoulish intruder does get in, the Safe House has been designed with various panic rooms and areas that get sealed off from the rest of the house. Worst case, you wait it out until the intruder leaves. Of course, if the zombies are anything like your in-laws, they could stick around a lot longer than you first thought. Silo homes. What better place to hold out in luxury than a location meant to survive a nuclear strike? Across America, people are buying up old missile silos and converting them into rather sturdy homes. Sure, there's usually a house above ground complete with all sorts of luxuries, but the real story is underneath. You see, when the zombies come, you can run through the steel blast door and be safe underground thanks to the several hundred tons of reinforced concrete. It's all yours for around $750,000, and it comes with an airstrip, should you decide you need to fly away quickly. Quick Promise. In the world of custom zombie-proof homes, no one builds them like the Polish firm Quick Promise. While other homes often boast about having safe rooms, in terms of Quick, the entire house is safe. At first glance, it just looks like a rather modern glass and concrete dwelling. However, with the push of a button, those concrete slabs and steel shutters all close to transform this home into an impenetrable fort. There's even a drawbridge for that full fortress effect. So, what is the price for this stylish and highly functional post-apocalyptic home? There is no actual advertised price, likely meaning, if you have to ask, you can't afford it. Sandy Cay. If a lighthouse is a little too rustic for your tastes, you could always consider Sandy Cay in the Bahamas. For a cool $8 million, you get your own island paradise measuring 8 acres in size. But this is no tourist island. No, Sandy Cay comes complete with several buildings for friends and family and a fleet of boats so you can fish and patrol for floating zombies. It even has its own water facility, so you'll never go thirsty. Time for the big question. If you were to wait out the zombie apocalypse in your own home, which features are an absolute must for you? They could include some of the ones we've already talked about, or maybe something totally different that you've thought up. But just hold on, because we've got a few more properties that may influence your decision. House Island. Perhaps you're interested in an island, but one with a little less of the posh factor that Sandy Cay has, and more of an Alcatraz-like feel. Off the coast of Maine, you'll find House Island, which is basically the mullet of zombie-proof homes. Half the island is just a regular-looking property with some houses and a dock, while the other half is known as Fort Scammell, a fortress once equipped with all sorts of cannons. We imagine you could buy some used cannons to rearm the fort to fight off any zombie navy. Naturally, they're not built into the island's nearly $7 million price tag. Castle Bluegrass. Have $30 million just sitting around? If the answer is yes, and you're looking for a luxury home which is also zombie-proof, then head on over to Kentucky. Here you'll find Castle Bluegrass. This home is a mix of medieval design and modern luxury. The castle itself is surrounded by a wall and turrets, which would no doubt hold off any army of the undead. Complete with a pool, basketball, and tennis courts, Castle Bluegrass even has its own horse farm, so you can ride off in a dramatic fashion should the walls ever be breached. Castle of Rincon. So far, the other castle mentioned here lacks self-sufficiency. After all, what's good about being locked inside if you have no food, water, or power? Castle of Rincon in Puerto Rico solves these problems. In addition to being surrounded by walls and perched on a mountain, this $2.4 million piece of real estate is self-sufficient. You see, it has its own gardens and water storage tank. There are also solar panels to provide electricity, so you can keep on updating your Facebook status long after the rest of your friends have turned into extras for The Walking Dead. Lake Castle. For $12.8 million, you can have the complete castle experience when facing the zombie hordes. Lake Castle is found in Miami, Florida, and is definitely one impressive home. With 3 stories and 8 bedrooms, there's plenty of room for friends and family looking to keep their brains intact. The castle is surrounded by a small lake and fed by its own well, so you never need to worry about going thirsty. That said, the only drawback is the lack of a drawbridge. This means the owner needs to install one, or simply blow up the causeway, so no zombies can just come walking in. Ark Hotel. Worried about facing a zombie apocalypse and all the threats of global warming as well? Well, don't worry about it, because we found the Ark Hotel. It is designed to produce its own air, water, and energy. Oh, and it's also designed to float, meaning you can get away from those pesky zombies and deal with rising sea levels at the same time. This win-win zombie-proof building does have one big downside, however. It's still in the design phase and may not be ready to own before the undead come looking. Because of that, even the richest people in the world can't get their hands on this potential game changer. Having considered all of these properties, if money were no option, which features would your home absolutely have to have in order to make it through a zombie apocalypse? Then again, are you the type to sit it out safe inside? Or would you prefer to storm out with your guns blazing, a la Call of Duty? Let us know your stand on this one down below. Once you've done that, be sure to check out some of the other videos at The Richest. If you're on a zombies, monsters, and mutants kick, we definitely have something for you. Just be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, and bye-bye.